Hello dear children, today we're going to do the next story in the supplementary reader for class 6, The Old Clock Shop. It's a story which is of course interesting, and at the same time it teaches us a very important lesson. How we have to be calm in any situation where we may be tempted to be afraid or angry. When we are calm, we think better and do better. It also teaches us a very important message, that is, through love and affection, we can reform many people, or we can prevent people from moving to a life of crime. So now, let's move to the story, The Old Clock Shop. It's the time of Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, that's the previous eve of day of Christmas, and last minute shoppers are going home after buying their presents. People who didn't have time so far to buy presents or things for Christmas, they are all busy now buying all the doing the last minute shopping, and they have also started going home. So it's going to be the day is going to end, and it's quite cold. There is snow all over the place, and the story is taking place in Salt Lake City, USA. But in the old clock shop, the lights are still burning. Though most of the other shops you can see are closed, the lights are still burning because he is working on a clock that he had sold that day. He has already sold the clock, so he doesn't need to work on it, but he is it shows that he is perfectionist. So he's trying to see that everything is perfected when he gives it to his customer. So he is just winding up for the day. He's doing the last work that he has to. And having finished his work, he stood up and he was going to go to the back room, to keep this clock inside, when he could feel that the door is open because cold air hit the back of his neck. And he thought that maybe someone has come at the last moment to buy some gift for somebody for Christmas, and so he turned, hoping or expecting to see a shopper. Now the fact that he comes to know that the door is opened only because he can feel the cold rush of air gives us an idea about his physical state. It means that probably he can't hear. He has to rely on his sense of feeling. When he turned, his wise eyes told him that the man who has come is not a shopper. There are two men, one is in his 20s and one is closer to 50. The younger man remains at the door. See, suppose you come for shopping, both of you will come together to select together. But the younger man is standing at the door and the older man comes closer. And the older man has no sign of friendliness in his eyes. So Ray understood that these people have not come here for purchasing, but for something else. The man who's standing at the door is standing guard to see if somebody is coming, to warn his friend if somebody is coming, because there are very few people on the streets, and this man has come in probably to rob from Ray. And that's why there's no friendliness in his eyes, because if we are going to a shop, we plan to buy something, naturally there'll be friendliness in our eyes, but there's no friendliness in his eyes. Ray was feeling afraid, but he did not want the other man to realize that he is afraid, and he pushed a notepad and a pencil across the counter. And he smiled, though the other man is not smiling, he smiles and points to his ears, and he shakes his head from side to side. He wants to show that he doesn't, he can't hear, he wouldn't be able to communicate with the man through his, if he talks. So that's why he's giving him the paper and pen, and he's pointing to his eyes that I can't hear. And when the man saw this, he was surprised because he hadn't expected this. And he looked at the notepad, and then he turned and he said something to his friend. So Ray can't hear what he has said to his friend, but he has said something. And when he was turning to and he was looking at his friend, Ray looked at him very closely, and he saw that in his right hand pocket there was a gun, and his hand is also quite restless. So that means he's in a situation where he wouldn't mind using that gun. Ray gets very angry because he can't stand such dishonest people, but he kept quiet, and he told himself that I should be calm, I should be still. If I get angry, I will do something silly. So in the paper he writes, may I help you? A typical question that you would ask a customer. may I help you? But here it means something much more. The other man is in trouble. He has come here to rob because he doesn't have money, and indirectly Ray is offering him help so that he doesn't commit a crime. And for the first time that man looked directly at Ray and he smiled, and it was a very cruel, mocking smile. He's making fun of Ray because both understood why the man has come. He has not come here for shopping. And when Ray looks at them, they look like people who are down on their luck. That's people who have been unlucky in life, who need money urgently. And because they have no other way out, they are ready to do something wrong. But they are not basically bad people. Afterwards, they'll feel sorry for having done something like this. So then Ray wrote another message. Have you come to pick up a clock or watch? If he directly tells him that I will give you money, that man may not be able to accept it. And it will be wrong, isn't it? You are giving money simply to him, means you are again making him do a crime. So he is offering him a way out. He is asking, have you come to pick a watch? And he points to a board there, a loan board. That is, Ray is not a pawnbroker. Pawnbroker is someone who takes things from you and gives you money instead of that. He is not like that. But many people who are in trouble come to him. So what he does is he will take their clocks or watches and he'll give them money. So usually if you go to a pawn shop, what they do is they'll take things from you and they'll give you money, and you have to pay interest. Every month you have to pay interest till you repay the money. But Ray never charges any interest. He just keeps their watches or clocks there, and then the owners come back and they don't give any extra money. The money that they took from him, they return, and he gives back their watch or clock. So this is what he does. So actually here Ray is showing out a way to the man. That is, if you want to do something like this, you will not have to do anything wrong and I can give you money. So he's not telling that directly, but his action gives that message. That time the older man, he felt a bit better and he removed his watch and he keeps it there and he writes, how much will you give me for this watch? So the watch is very old, it's nothing special, it's not so costly. So the man is looking a bit ashamed also. Maybe he is feeling sorry for the poor state of his watch, or maybe he is feeling bad that he had planned to match. Now they have said here the watch was nothing special, yet it had great powers. Now what do you mean by it is nothing special but it has great powers? That is, see, it is not a very good watch or anything, it's a very ordinary watch, but it has the power to save that man from committing a crime. It has the power to save Ray from being robbed. So it is a way of out of a bad situation. So knowing that the man is in great need of money, Ray asked, how much do you want for it? This, how much money you want? I'll give you whatever you want. And that man replied, whatever it's worth. What does its cost? You give me that much. But Ray immediately went to his cash box. He took a $50 note and gave it to the man. Both know that the watch isn't worth $50, but Ray is giving him extra money to help him. As they shook hands, Ray looked into the eyes of the man, and that man, through his eyes, he seems to be saying thank you. That's thank you for helping me in such a way that I did not have to commit a crime. Both knew that the watch doesn't cost this much. Ray has helped him. And before the man left, he wrote on the paper, I will be back to pick it up as soon as I can. Merry Christmas. So he feels ashamed that, see, I am doing something wrong. I am making the man give me so much money. Or I'm not making, that man has given me such a great help by giving me so much money. So he says, I'll try to be back as fast as I can. Merry Christmas. And that man went. So the story ended with all the clocks striking together. Okay. And it seems as if all the timepieces which had all been sitting there, they're all singing out together that, oh, you've done such a great thing, that such a nice thing has happened, that even Ray can feel that he can hear the voices of the timepieces ringing. Okay. And what was the message? Peace on earth, goodwill towards all. That's the message of Christmas. So on the occasion of Christmas, this man has actually shown the way towards peace and goodwill. He has helped two men, and he has also seen that there is peace, there is no harmony between them. So all these people, they're feeling that message of Christmas. So Christmas is all about helping our fellow men, and here he is actually helping his fellow men. Now some more words that you learn in this story, some new words which may not be familiar to you. Mocking is making fun in a way that may hurt the feelings of the other person. Loan is something that we borrow money from someone or something, and we have to return with interest. Then pawn shop, as I already told you, a pawn shop is a place where we give something that we have, maybe some jewels, maybe we have some vehicle, whatever it is, we give that and they give us money instead. Until we pay back the money, we have to keep giving. In the needy is someone who needs something, who is poor enough to need help from others. Worth, what something is worth. Now this picture can tell you worth, the meaning of worth. See that what you see about the tree. When the boy grows up, he understands the worth of a tree. And not only that, this picture is also worth. It gives you such a wonderful message with so few words. The boy grows up and he realizes that that tree which his father had planted and watered is now so useful for him. And timepiece, probably in your generation you haven't seen a timepiece. In the past, this used to be used to set the alarm. And Christmas is the message, always gives you the message of peace and goodwill towards all. I hope all of you enjoyed the lesson and you're happy with it. So all of you remember that always we should stay calm in any situation. We should try to help our fellow beings so that they don't commit crimes. And hope all of you remember this story and its message for a long time to come. Thank you.